Everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've got one of my favorite closers here, Tyrell, and I wanted to showcase what he's been able to accomplish since we've been working together. I feel like you joined the school community in what, summertime? Like May, June, July?
Yeah, I did. Yep.
Okay. So it's been a minute since then.
It's been a while.
Prior to you joining the community and like getting into high ticket sales, what were you doing? Like where were you at?
I was a bit all over the place. I got a degree in international business and finance, and then I went straight into like business consulting.
Hmm.
Hated it, and then I switched over to government for a little bit, and just hated it. And so I felt like I was just kind of jumping. Went to another corporate job, worked for a large tech company, and then it was not satisfying. And I could do the job, but there was no fulfillment,
Yeah.
and there was also a cap in income too. And I was kind of just doing that. I was pretty capped. I was super involved outside of work with church and extracurricular activities, and so that those jobs kind of held me back from being able to be involved in those. And so I was like, there's got to be something else. There's got to be a way that I can use my talents, make money, provide, give generously, but at the same time enjoy what I'm doing. And so that's kind of where I was at before.
Hmm. And what was it specifically that drew you to high ticket sales?
First of all was going to be the removal of the income cap. Second of all was I wanted to learn a skill. I wanted to have something that, like, dude, if everything fell apart, I could pick it back up and have a skill that I could fall back on.
Mhm.
And I mean, like, I got funneled. I saw an app, I saw an ad from you, and I saw it, and I was like, dude, like, I got funneled, absolutely. And it worked because I was like, that's something I want to do. And then also the attraction, obviously, of like you have freedom of location, you have time
Mhm.
freedom. It does not mean you're not going to work hard because there's some days where you're just sitting on calls for 8, 10 hours a day.
Right.
But you get to decide that, and you get to decide where you're at. And I've traveled a lot this year, and I've still worked. So that's kind of what the attraction was.
So you see an ad, you, I think you messaged me on Instagram.
I did.
We started chatting back and forth.
Yep.
You joined the school. As a result of getting into the school and getting trained by me, um, you got on two different offers. Let's talk about the offer with Brian. What
Right.
was the outcome that you were able to achieve financially or just overall through the coaching and training that you got from me?
Yeah. Actually, I want to give you specifics. The first 4 days on that offer, I'd closed 24,000. The first 15 days on the offer, I closed 116,000. And then the total for that first month, which was only about 21 business days, was over 150K. And then the last 11 days on this offer, I've closed 82K. And
Wow.
so it's been, I think obviously, like, I've seen the stories of people like overnight they change it, but for me it wasn't overnight. It took me completely switching my mindset. It took me completely learning a whole new skill. I'd never been in sales before. And so when I joined your group and I started being mentored by you, and like I think I had the benefit of, like, we were on calls every day at 8 a.m. for me, and you would roast my calls. And that was what, like, I dreaded it, but I also loved it at the same time because it was the one thing that made me be like, yeah, like, I want to be better because I don't want to dread it tomorrow, like if my calls
Yeah.
suck. So it was like utmost accountability and knowing that somebody was going to look at it that kept me in line. But that group, it made me sit there and look at it. I knew that I had to put in some work, and so I'd sit there for hours each night just watching material. I'd rewatch it, I'd slow it down, I'd take notes, and then I'd go over scripts and I'd practice it. I'd look in the mirror, and I felt so dumb because it was before I was on an offer. I wasn't even on an offer yet for a couple months, and
Yeah.
I just went through it, and I was like, "Is this ever gonna pan out?" Got on the first offer. I remember making like my first close, and I texted everybody. I was like, "Dude, like, no way." And I was like, it's actually working. And then you go through slumps where you're not making closes. And then I've been with you before where we had a like 25K, 30K day. And so you go through the ups and downs, but what the foundation was going through your material, getting roasted on calls, going over call reviews, and making sure the work was done beforehand so that when you're on an offer, it's time to execute. And you're obviously going to keep learning. Even this morning, I learned a mistake that I made. I closed the call, but I made a mistake, and I was like, I'm gonna go back and watch that so I can say it better next time. So
Sure.
continual learning, but the material helped me tremendously.
If there's anyone that's on the fence that's seen a lot of my content and doesn't know if they can trust me or doesn't know what that experience would actually be like joining one of my programs, signing up for coaching, getting put on an offer,
Yeah.
what would you say to that person?
You told me this a while ago, but you said you can't help anyone make a hard decision for themselves if you haven't had to make a hard decision for yourself. And at the end of the day, selling is helping. We're also like we're all trying to get paid, but at the end of the day, selling is helping. And so if something that you're offering can't help somebody, I've ended calls abruptly to say, hey, I don't think this is for you. We move on. It's water under the bridge. And so, but someone is needing a program, someone is needing a system, someone is needing a coach, and there's information that people have that other people need. And it's your job as the closer to dig and pull them out of that and offer them a solution. But it starts with you making hard decisions. And right now, if you're feeling a pull to change your life, if you're feeling a pull to change your situation, nobody's going to come save you. Tristan is a big proponent of saying that. No one's going to come save you. You're going to be the one that has to reach out and get some help. But it starts with you making a decision. Hey, I'm going to invest into myself. Hey, I'm going to learn a new skill that I don't know about. I'm going to get a little bit uncomfortable. Invest into yourself. You're going to show up more when you invest into yourself. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Learn skills, learn sales. This will carry you for a long time. It doesn't matter what industry you're in. If you know sales and you know how to work with people, this is a skill that will serve you. It will serve you in any facet of life, not just business. At the end of the day, if you need to start over, you know a skill, you can move forward. I trust Tristan tremendously. He is a man of his word, and he'll help you get where you need to get to.
Let's go, Tyrell. I'm so proud of you. You
Thanks,
worked
man.
very, very hard. This
I
is not
did.
easy. None of this stuff is guaranteed.
That's right.
But if you're willing to commit
That's right.
and follow through and keep putting the left foot after the right foot, there's no ceiling on what you can accomplish in this space.
That's right.